In the recent chapter of One Piece, Zoro, he went against death, or at least he's seeing, he might be hallucinating or whatever, but he sees the Grim Reaper like thing. That's what the community is calling it. And he's being attacked by him, but we don't know what's going to happen. And the first thing that came to my mind is the scene in Skypiea when Zoro talks about he doesn't pray or he doesn't believe in God, because when that happened and then he sees the Grim Reaper, which I guess a loose definition is the personification of death, right? It comes in the form of cloak-like skeleton with a scythe. And so that Zoro doesn't believe in God, and then the Grim Reaper's attacking him, where the Grim Reaper, they take souls to, I guess, purgatory or the underworld, along those lines. They take people's lives. And so since he didn't believe in God, and now he's getting attacked by that, I kind of find it ironic. Zoro, he has claimed a lot of stuff, right? We see the purgatory onigiri. Ashura is considered like a demon-like form of personification of his will. And then we have Zoro with the, I guess we can say, hopefully his new epithet, the King of Hell. So Zoro and death and hell and a lot of spiritual stuff, it has a lot to do with each other. In my chapter review, I was like kind of joking, but kind of not. I said that this was Brook. Is it a possibility? Yeah, but at the same time, Brook is with Nico Robin, so he's protecting her, and along with trying to get away from CP0. And Oda, he does these in, well, every major arc. I'd say Marineford, Wano, Alabasta, and a few more, where he, every few chapters or so, he gives us an update of where these characters are, which is needed because, well, if we didn't have that, we'd be lost. And so since Brook is all the way over there, and they highlighted Frankie showcasing that he was next to Zoro, and also I believe in 127, Frankie was the one who was, he protected or caught Zoro when King overwhelmed him. And also we haven't seen Brook since chapter 1032, so I don't think it's Brook that's the Grim Reaper. And it would be pretty, I'm not gonna say pretty dumb, but that scene would be kind of anticlimactic if it was Brook playing a joke on Zoro. I personally think it's dumb, and I think that this has something to do with Enma, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the video. But I've seen a lot of people say, hey, is this Zoro his pain of the drug? Because Chopper did mention that earlier, and a lot of times when somebody mentions something followed by the panel afterwards is usually true, but I don't think Zoro's experienced the pain just yet, because the difference, Oda, he loves his parallels, but he likes to have a little bit of twist to him. So if he did something in the earlier arc, he's going to do it again, but just put a little bit of put a little bit of seasoning, some cayenne pepper up in there. So with Nothing Happened, the thing was nobody saw it. It was something supposed to be low key, and like it says, nothing happened. Well, I think because this is, I guess you can say, Zoro's arc, and that he wants to be one of the greatest swordsmen, I think he has to do something spectacular. And Wano's an arc where that happens. We've already mentioned that Zoro has ties to Shimosuke and how he represents Shimosuke Ushimaru, I believe, and Ryuma being a one-eyed swordsman. We saw Ryuma cut a dragon over the capital. That's how he was named the God of the Blade. Odin, he had that time when he was being boiled alive, the Hour of Legend. So I think that the scene where Zoro, he experiences all that pain, I think that Zoro's going to do it where everybody can see, where everybody be like, oh, well, this is the man who took twice the pain, 20-30 broken bones, or something along those lines. Everybody's going to see it, and that could be how Zoro becomes a legend. Remember that chapter when Zoro finally got a flashback and we got to see a little bit more about him with Kuzabura? We learned that cursed swords aren't a thing. It's just that the wielder is scared of the sword and they're not strong enough in order to wield it. And so swords, they have a will of their own, and something that people fear is death itself, right? And this could be Zoro, Enma testing Zoro, and that's his will, having to fight against death. We learned two things at Logtown where, I mean, it's kind of not true anymore. The first one, that cursed blades, they bring their wielder to an early death. But like I said a little bit earlier ago, that cursed blades aren't a thing. It's just that the wielders aren't strong enough and that they die because their swords aren't meant for them, and then two, that swords, they choose their wielder. We saw that scene when Zoro threw the Sendai Kitetsu up, and then he threw out his arm, and he was like, hey, if it cuts me, it cuts me. It means I'm not meant to be, which is why Zoro is considered a great swordsmaster, because of how he's able to judge good blades. And then I want to bring up Zoro being on the brink of death, because the Grim Reaper, like I said, it represents death, and so many times Zoro has been on the brink of death in this series. I think my favorite moment, well, two of them have to be against Mr. One when he learned the breath of all things, and then two against Hachi. He said something along the lines of, until I meet that man, not even death itself can kill me. Then there's the conversation about black blades. The only two people we know have it is Ryuma and Mihawk. And then on the bridge of Gikumaru, we got a little bit learning about it, saying that it was forced through battle, and we speculate two things. One, that you either have to pump in a lot of hockey and a lot of have a lot of battles, pump in a lot of hockey in order to create that, or something has to do with a potential sacrifice, if you will. And what could happen is that we know that willpower manifestation is a thing. Zoro does it through Conqueror's Haki, through Ashura, and so this could be the manifestation of Enma, aka the King of Hell. Then Zoro, he will have to defeat the will of Enma in order to fully tame its power, because we saw earlier when he was like, hey, Enma's testing me, Oden was able to wield it like it was nothing, so I'm not living up to the sword standards. And so since he was able to pump in all that Conqueror's Haki, maybe now Enma's like, hey, this is your final test, you have to defeat me. Or he might be doing a ritual or something, but something along those lines of either defeat me, or hey, I'm about to bless you with a black blade because I trust you, and this is how you get a black blade. But let's just say just something crazy happened and Zoro's fighting against the Grim Reaper because he's about to die. Who can save him? I think Marco is a possibility, because honestly, I don't know what he's going to do for the rest of the arc. I don't think he's going to fight Big Mom. Marco's a wild card. He can do anything. So we're always going to put him in situations where, hey, if somebody needs saving, Marco's got it. I think Frankie's a good one because, like I said, he was right next to Zoro. And they highlighted that on the map. And then, even though I don't believe it, Brook, because he has the ability to manipulate souls and he could challenge somebody on the level of the Grim Reaper with death. So maybe that's who can save Zoro. But I will say, in this arc, Zoro has to become a legend. I personally don't think he's done. I mean, I believe it was Zhao and Zoro said something along the lines of, the samurai will follow me. I just don't see Zoro being done here. I think he needs to be a little bit, or at least get a backstory or something. I just don't think he's done, right? And so I want to see what happens. I'm not saying he's killing Kaido, right? I'm not saying he's fighting Big Mom. I just think he has to do something on a grand stature in order to be considered a legend. And so I want to see what that is. And if Zoro does win that fight and get a black blade, because I think that's like the only power up he has left. And once you do that, I think that's when you're considered a Denkaigo or a great master swordsman. I think that's when he'll be worthy of having that epithet of the King of Hell. And I can't wait to see what happens with Zoro. Hopefully he doesn't die. I mean, he's not going to, but you know, we have to have that tension in the story. But let me know what you guys think this Grim Reaper like thing is. Are you guys excited by it? And what was your initial thoughts? Who do you guys think it is, and what'll happen to Zoro? But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video from me. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.